Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about heme catabolism. About 6 gram of hemoglobin per day is broken down and resynthesized in an adult man. Hemoglobin is the main heme protein present in RBCs. These RBCs have a lifespan of 120 days. After 120 days, these are removed from circulation. Then RBCs are taken up and degraded by macrophages of reticuloendothelial system in liver, spleen and bone marrow. So after 120 days, hemoglobin dissociates into heme and globin. From RBC, hemoglobin. After 120 days, hemoglobin dissociates into heme and globin. This globin, it is converted into individual amino acids and these are reutilized. Then Fe2+, that is ferrous iron in the heme is oxidized to Fe3+, that is ferric iron, ferrous to ferric, and this enters in the iron pool for reutilization, or it can be stored as ferritin, that is Fe3+. Then there is iron free porphyrin portion of heme. The iron portion, that is oxidized to Fe3+. There will be iron free porphyrin portion that is degraded in the reticuloendothelial cells to bile pigments, biliverdin and bilirubin, that is in the reticuloendothelial system. So 1 gram of hemoglobin can give to 35 mg bilirubin. In the formation of formation of this bilirubin, about 85% of bilirubin is derived from senescent RBCs. That means aged RBCs. Senescent RBCs. Then 15% it is derived from either destruction of immature erythrocytes in the bone marrow or from breakdown of other heme pigments like cytochromes, myoglobin, catalase, etc. So these are the sources of bilirubin. So in the formation of bilirubin, first enzyme is heme oxygenase. Heme oxygenase enzyme. It is a NADPH dependent enzyme. Here the reaction is NADPH plus H plus NADP plus. This enzyme is known as, its other name is heme alpha methinyl oxygenase. This enzyme attacks the iron porphyrin ring in heme, and this reaction occurs in the microsomal fraction of reticuloendothelial cells. This reaction is between this pyrrole ring 1 and 2. So this results in the loss of 1 carbon as carbon monoxide. Here 1 molecule of oxygen is added and there will be loss of 1 carbon as carbon monoxide. This is the only source of endogenous carbon monoxide synthesis in the body. This rate of elimination of carbon monoxide in the expired air, it is used clinically as an index of rate of heme catabolism. Rate of elimination of carbon monoxide in the expired air. It is used clinically as an index of rate of heme catabolism. This heme oxygenase enzyme, it is a NADPH dependent enzyme. So after the ring opening, there will be the ring opening between pyrrole 1 and 2, pyrrole rings 1 and 2. So after the ring opening, heme is catabolized first to a linear tetrapyrrole, that is known as biliverdin. This biliverdin is then converted to bilirubin in the reticuloendothelial cells. This is by the enzyme biliverdin reductase. to bilirubin. This enzyme is also a NADPH dependent enzyme. NADPH plus H plus NADP plus. So bilirubin is formed. So this is the formation of bilirubin. Then next step is transport of bilirubin. This bilirubin formed in the reticuloendothelial cells, it is unconjugated bilirubin. It is called unconjugated bilirubin, and it is highly soluble in lipids, that is lipid soluble, and it is sparingly soluble in water. It is unconjugated bilirubin. It is lipid soluble and sparingly soluble in water. Then its solubility in plasma is increased by binding with albumin. Solubility in plasma, it is increased by binding with albumin. So there will be transport of this bilirubin. Normally in 100 ml plasma, 25 mg of bilirubin, it is tightly bound to albumin in its high affinity site. It has two sites, high affinity and low affinity sites. So 25 mg bilirubin, it binds to albumin in its high affinity site. Then excess quantity, it is bound loosely, and this can be easily detached and can diffuse to tissues. Then this bilirubin form bilirubin albumin complex. So there will be transport to blood. In the blood there will be transport. So it forms bilirubin albumin complex, and this bilirubin albumin complex is carried to liver. Then bilirubin is there will be uptake of bilirubin by liver. When the complex reaches the liver, the sinusoidal surface of liver, this bilirubin is get detached from the albumin, and bilirubin is taken up by hepatocytes. So there will be uptake of bilirubin. Here it is. Next step is uptake by hepatocytes. After the bilirubin albumin complex enters the sinusoidal surface of hepatocytes, bilirubin gets detached from albumin and bilirubin enters the hepatocytes. This is by facilitated diffusion. Facilitated diffusion. This is in liver. Then inside the hepatocytes, two proteins are there. These are ligandin and protein Y. These proteins prevent the efflux of bilirubin from liver back to blood. These proteins, ligandin and protein Y inside the hepatocytes, prevent the efflux of bilirubin from liver back to blood. So this is the uptake of bilirubin by the liver. Next step is conjugation. So liver cells contain an enzyme that is known as UDP glucuronide transferase. UDP, the enzyme name is UDP glucuronide transferase. This enzyme catalyzes the transfer of glucuronic acid from UDP glucuronate to various phenolic, carboxylic and amine receptors. So there will be addition of two molecules of UDP glucuronate. 2 molecules of UDP glucuronate. So this enzyme UDP glucuronate transferase, it catalyzes the transfer of glucuronic acid from UDP glucuronate. This is known as conjugation. So next step is conjugation. And this conjugation takes place in smooth endoplasmic reticulum of liver cells. It is in smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So here it forms, first it forms bilirubin glucuronide, and then bilirubin diglucuronide, bilirubin monoglucuronide and bilirubin diglucuronide. So two molecules of two glucuronyl groups are transferred from UDP glucuronate. Then glucuronic acid is attached to the propionic carboxyl group of bilirubin. Glucuronic acid is attached to propionic carboxylic group of bilirubin to form bilirubin monoglucuronide and bilirubin diglucuronide. This mono and diglucuronides of bilirubin, these are known as conjugated bilirubins. These two are conjugated bilirubins. These conjugated bilirubins are water soluble and they are smaller in size. Smaller means because they are not bound to albumin, so they are smaller in size. These are known as conjugated bilirubins. These are water soluble and smaller in size. Then next step is secretion of bilirubin in the bile. So secretion of conjugated bilirubin, bilirubin monoglucuronide, bilirubin diglucuronide. So bilirubin diglucuronide, this conjugated bilirubin is secreted into the bile by an active transport mechanism. So here in the bile, by an active transport mechanism, this conjugated bilirubin is secreted into the bile. Bilirubin diglucuronide. This is by an active transport mechanism. So this is the rate limiting step in the bilirubin metabolism, that is the secretion of this conjugated bilirubin into the bile by active transport mechanism. This is the rate limiting step in the bilirubin metabolism. Here the protein involved in this reaction is MRP2, that is multi-drug resistance protein 2. Multi-drug resistance protein 2, that is the protein. It is also called MOAT, that is multi-specific organic anion transporter. Multi-specific organic anion transporter. It is located in the plasma membrane of bile canaliculae. Bile canaliculae. This MRP2 or MOAT, it is a member of the family ABC transporters, that is ATP binding cassette transporters. It is a member of ABC transporters. So that is the secretion of bilirubin in the bile. Then next step is secretion, this excretion of bile pigments. Excretion of bile pigments into the GI tract. From bile to GI tract. So conjugated bilirubins are then secreted into the GI tract. So here in the intestine, it is secreted. This is especially in cecum and in colon. So by the action of the enzyme bacterial beta glucuronidase, so this conjugated bilirubin, bilirubin diglucuronide, it is secreted into the intestine. Then in the intestine, by the action of the enzyme beta glucuronidase, it is a bacterial enzyme. This glucuronide, it is released. Glucuronide is released and it forms urobilinogen. So the conjugated bilirubins are secreted into the GI tract, especially in cecum and in colon. Then by the action of bacterial enzyme beta glucuronidase, this glucuronide, it is released and it forms urobilinogen. That is in the intestine. Then in the intestine, a small portion of this urobilinogen, these are returned to the liver. It can be returned to liver. and it is reutilized and it is re-excreted. This small portion of urobilinogen, it is returned to the liver for its re-excretion, and this is known as enterohepatic circulation of bile pigments. Enterohepatic circulation of bile pigments. Small amount of this urobilinogen can return to the liver and it is re-excreted. This is known as enterohepatic circulation of bile pigments. So, in the intestine, progressive reduction occurs and it produces a series of intermediates such as mesobilirubinogen. First, it will produce mesobilirubinogen, which is a colorless substance, and it forms stercobilinogen. From urobilinogen, mesobilirubinogen, then it forms stercobilinogen. This stercobilinogen, it gives the brown color of feces. It is responsible for the color of feces, and this is excreted in feces. This stercobilinogen, it is excreted in feces. Then small amount of this urobilinogen, it enters the kidney. Small amount enters the kidney. Then in the presence of air, auto-oxidation occurs and it produces urobilin. It is an orange yellow pigment which contributes to the normal color of urine, and these are excreted. So, this is about heme catabolism. This is today's topic. Thank you for watching.